go. Hi, I'm Amy from Whiteacres, and I help businesses make sure that their business image is as great as what they offer, so that people can see just how good that really is and feel compelled to take action. Over the weekend, we had my parents over for dinner, and I made naan bread, which I've made before many times, but this time I was a bit impatient. I wasn't paying enough attention, so I just slapped the dough into the pan and the hot oil went up my arm and right up to just here underneath the leg on my glasses, which I'm really glad I was wearing. So now I am covered in sticking plasters. I'm a bit self-conscious. I'm going to have to wear long sleeves because I got burnt up here, and I feel really stupid and a bit embarrassed for not being focused enough. Sometimes we lose focus on what's important, don't we? We stop paying attention, and it's in those times that we can get burnt, not just in our personal lives but in our business lives as well. For example, if you lose attention, lose focus and forget to give someone your terms and conditions to sign, that could have bad consequences. If you don't pay attention to where you're going and you end up in the wrong place for a meeting, then that could be a bit embarrassing. If you're too rushed and too busy thinking about something other than what you're doing, or too disorganised, then it's really easy to mess up. This doesn't help you in your business, and it doesn't reflect well on your reputation either. Of course, we are all human and we do make mistakes, but if you're working with hot oil, something that really needs to be given 100% of your attention, then it's essential to keep your eye on the ball. There are lots of different things that you can do to help you to keep focused in business, and lots of things that require focus when you're running business. I'm sure I don't need to give you a list of all the things that you're responsible for, from doing what people pay you to do, to doing what you need to do outside of that. But there are lots of things, like I said, that you can do to help you gain focus and keep on top of everything. One thing I really like to do is keep lists, because these lists help me to keep really organised. I love Trello, which is like a super duper list making machine that you can get online. There'll be a link below this video, and you can also, there's an app on your phone you can get so that you can have your lists synced between whatever you're using. Trello is great because your lists, you can move things up and down the lists, you can move things from one list to another, you can archive lists, you can add notes and attachments, you can share lists, you can do all sorts of things with it. So there's no reason not to be able to keep on top of what you're doing, even when you're on the move, and it's free. You can also use more traditional lists and use things like sticky fix-it notes or scraps of paper or a notepad, and of course you can have a really organised filing system. If you've got a brand style guide, then you can use this every time you need to create something for your business. Maybe it's an image for Facebook or a banner or a leaflet or whatever it is that you need, and you can make sure that you are consistent and then communicating effectively with your audience. They always know who's speaking to them and they always know what you're saying, and that can really help people to understand you when you're communicating so that they don't get confused. Another thing that helps me to keep my focus is that I use Evernote. I only use this for ideas and collating information. I don't use it for client work. That's just because of the way that I do it. It doesn't mean that has to apply for you. I love Evernote because you can access that on your phone as well. You can add reminders, you can add notes, you can edit notes, you can tag notes. It's free. Well, it starts free. You can pay for it as well, but I don't pay for it and it still works fine for me. And it's really good for keeping you organised. There's absolutely no excuse. It's so easy. For invoicing, there are tons of different programs that you can use to help you keep on top of things. The only problem really is deciding which program is the one that you want to use. I use Blue Sky, but I've also heard great things about QuickFile, Sage, and all sorts of other different accounting packages. So you just have to find out which one it is that you want, and then you can have a snapshot of your invoicing to see, who you've invoiced, who hasn't paid, who owes you money, how much money you owed, how much money you've made, all that kind of thing, which is really great to help you keep focused. You can also create plans and systems to help you keep focused on what you're doing in your business. I have a plan for getting clients, I have a marketing plan, a social media marketing plan, a plan for following through, for following up, a plan for pretty much everything, and a system for my branding process, which really helps me to keep focused when I'm working, to make sure that I don't miss out any important steps and I get the best result. There's lots of different things I'm sure that you could do in there as well. Another thing I do is social media scheduling, certainly not all the time, but I do use Facebook's scheduling inside the Facebook platform. There's also TweetDeck and Hootsuite, and there's a whole load of others. I tend to use Buffer, which schedules out to Twitter, Google Plus and LinkedIn, and it can schedule to Facebook as well. At the moment I'm trying out something new called Scredible, but like I said, there's loads of different options available. So even if you don't really like social media, then you don't really have an excuse not to be able to keep on top of it, because it's just so easy and you can just spend a little bit of time setting it up and away it goes. Back in December, I created a goal setting pack which you can use to set monthly and weekly goals, and there's a reminder sheet in there to remind you what those goals are. I also created a business snapshot sheet which you can pin up on your wall, and it will remind you what your business is all about and help you to stay focused. So I'll put those links in the post below this video. But I'd love to hear from you. What do you do in your business to help you to keep focused so that you don't get burned? I'm sure other people would find your comments really useful as well. It's always great to know what other people do and how you can work to adapt that for your business. So let me know in the comments, that would be really great, and I'll see you next week for the next video. Brilliant. Lists. Right. Okay.